I'm Sabbir Hossain, and at this present moment, I'm running a small business. But before that, I was at Nottingham City Education for 25 years. I came from Bangladesh, New Bangladesh, and came here in 1973. And when I came here, I had a vision of Nottingham is that it'll be a nice, warm, little bit warm. I knew it was going to be cold, but I didn't expect it going to be that cold. And it was good shivering cold, the cold entering into your bones, not your meat, and that kind of cold. One snow after another snow, layers after layers, that used to be in Nottingham in those days. When I came to Nottingham, I went to Arkwright Street. And Arkwright Street, those days, used to be one long shopping center. From one end to right up to the Trent Bridge, shops both sides. You can buy anything from needle to haystack. But that Arkwright Street used to be a lot of bridges and a lot of restaurants. And I did used to go those restaurants and cafe. And because I used to live just outside Arkwright Street called Queen's Drive, I came to Nottingham to study A-level at West Bridgford College of Further Education. Now it's known as a South Notts College. And I was quite pleased that I joined and I found so many good friends, and eventually I've completed A-level from there, and I'm quite pleased that I came to Nottingham. I found that when I wanted to buy a coffee with my friends, local friends, when I wanted to pay for both coffee, they didn't want it. They want to pay everything by themselves. You pay yours, I pay mine. But I brought up in a culture that sometimes my friend pays all or I pay, so that was a bit of cultural shock. And second thing I found that people are always doing things by themselves. They don't ask you help unless they're desperate. In our culture, we always work together, share together. Over here, I found that was not there. I found hardly any Bangladeshi was living that time. There was only few restaurants, and altogether I've calculated there was no more than 75, 80 Bangladeshi were in Nottingham, and majority of them all single, and no families. Very few had a family here. Their family used to be in Bangladesh, and they work here, send money. Like at this present moment in Middle East, people work there and send money to their families in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I bought only one suitcase and a bag. In my suitcase, there were a blanket. I knew that in case I don't have straight away a blanket. So I bought a blanket and few warm clothes like a jumper and a few shirts and things like that. And I also bought a extra jacket. And that jacket I found was not good enough for this weather. It's only good enough for summer. So those kind of things I bought. I didn't bring many items. And then obviously I started buying, and slowly my items are growing. And I lived in a house sharing with few students. And I found other students also like that. They bought only suitcase full of stuff. Many items is not useful here. So that's why I felt that our parents push a lot of things into the suitcase, but that won't be any good. The house I lived in, the downstairs used to be a doctor's surgery on number 41 Queen's Drive. And upstairs there used to be 4 rooms. And landlord was very kind enough. He was charging only £2.50 for students and £3 for workers for the room. And gas and electricity had a meter. So you put 5p coin, and that lasts you probably good 5-6 days. So that is the house, and rooms, everybody had his room. And I found the other student, they have a small stove. It's like a ring, and they cook on there. So I have no cooking experience. So they showed me that how easy it is. So that's another experience I find, that on the stove, a little pan, I used to boil rice, and the same, when the rice is boiling, I put a egg and potato in there. So the same time, they're also getting cooked. So once the rice, I have strained the water, and I get the egg and potato and put some mixed powder. It wasn't that great, but it was eatable. But slowly, my cooking improved, and I was living more healthier, and even invited other friends, come and eat with me today, see how is my cooking. So that's the journey started, how to cook and how to survive. I always wanted to go out and eating, and I found few other students, they're a bit reluctant, and they felt, one friend told me, the way you spending money, tomorrow you'll be short of money. Money is very important. Don't spend money like water. I liked an area, a coffee bar near the city center called Cardoma Coffee Bar. It's a downstairs, and when you go there, you have a cake and a coffee for 10 or 11 pence. I used to have that, and I offered a lot of our friends, come on, I will treat you. But they always fear that I will be short of money and I'll be start borrowing from them. And I say, no. I bought a reasonable amount of money. I know where is my limit. So I've studied physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So though my grade wasn't very high, but I went to Trent Polytechnic. I had a subject, computing, and plus I took a business management. So computing, those days used to be two programs. One is to call Fortran and one is to call COBOL. And computer used to be bigger than this library, all the boxes. And we used to have a punch card to do the computing. So I've learned a bit of computing, so I could do a little bit computer programming, not programming, computer processing I could do. And with the business management, it was under University of London. So once I've finished my degree from there in 1980, I was looking for a job. Then I went to Bangladesh, back home, and my parents wanted me to take a job in Bangladesh. So I have says to my parents, my all belongings still here. I just came for a holiday. So I will go back and I'll make my decision. So when I came back here, and I found TI Rally was advertising for jobs, and those jobs were quite attractive. So when I went there and they gave me an interview date, they says 10,000 people works in their Nottingham factories. They produce approximately 1 million bikes a year. They got 3,500 to 4,000 people non-white. They haven't got any senior position, any Asian or black. So they, equality and diversity, they got to fulfill those areas. And I've been offered a job, technical, initially started as a technical assistant, then to follow as a trainee assistant manager. Very good. And I've started my work there and I've enjoyed it. It's a manufacturing and got a lot of challenges. And they also sent me to the university to do DMS, Degree in Management Study, on their expense. Nottingham Education Department, I did their curriculum developing for antisocial behavior, racism, diversity, equalities, anything linked with that, it was me. So they made me e-racism coordinator for that. And my job used to go to school. School has problem, and if any racist name calling, attacks or anything, school has to log that. And if a school find that the logging is quite high, quite a number of incidents, then I used to get called and I used to sit down with them and say that this need to be addressed. I feel I have changed a vast number of children's, their attitude towards their colleagues or friends. I think I've contributed huge number of name calling incidents from school. I have trained well over 150 to 200 teachers, those who could continue these courses. My booklet in every school, they could photocopy them. I've offered them, they can photocopy them and use them. So that will be a great achievement. There's two areas I love Nottingham. One is I was football mad and I love Nottingham Forest. First time I went to see Nottingham Forest is 1974. And player called Duncan McKenzie, he was a striker, and I was the only non-white spectator in that stadium that day. I went with my friend, and all the people, we call them hooligans, they're all patting my back and showing their thumb up. Okay mate, that means they have accepted me. Nottingham transport is fantastic. Everybody proud of Nottingham. That tram system and Nottingham transportation is very good. And otherwise, it has got so much facility. As a city, it has got facility like London. You see, it has got a brilliant cricket stadium. It has got two brilliant football stadium. It has got water sports center. It's got an ice arena which can accommodate 10,000-12,000 people. We got big name comes to Nottingham. We have theatre, we have concert hall, we've got playhouse. Nottingham is a place to live. I feel after seeing this film, a lot of people will think that Nottingham a place they can retire.